Have you ever been watching a video of a reseller and they use a term that you just don't understand? Have you ever been looking through listings and seen an abbreviation you don't understand? If so, then this video might help you out. Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Ben. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Here I share how I run my eBay business in hopes that it helps you out in yours. In today's video, I'm going to be going over language, terms, and abbreviations that you might run into as you begin reselling. Now, this video is going to be geared towards someone who's just starting out. Some of you more experienced resellers probably aren't going to get much from this video. However, it might clear up a few confusions that you have as well. One more thing real quick before we jump into the video, I'm going to do our positive comment shout out. This video, it's going to M. Wallace. Your knowledge is diversified. Thanks again for sharing, especially on the items that viewers may actually come across. Congrats on the 10K milestone. Well deserved. Thank you very much for the comment. I appreciate the congratulations on the 10K, and I hope that you guys keep sticking around and supporting me. It really does mean a lot. Now, onto the video. The first term I want to go over in today's video is one that you've probably heard me throw around before or other content creators throw around. It's a term used to figure out an item's worth, and that term is comps. Basically, this is referring to going into a platform's search filters and filtering the listings by completed listings and sold listings. This allows you to see items that have actually sold in the past and allows you to compare your items to the sold listings to properly evaluate your item. The next term I'm going to talk about is cross-selling or cross-posting. This is referring to selling your item on more than one platform at the same time. So if you have an item and you post it on eBay, you're cross-posting it over onto Poshmark, so you have the same item up on both platforms at the same time. The reason you would do this is basically to increase the amount of exposure that your items get. So if you have your item on both platforms, you're going to get more eyes on those items than if you only had it on one, because certain people only shop on eBay or certain people only shop on Poshmark. So to get your item in front of as many people as possible, you list it on both platforms at the exact same time. Next is sales rank. When I refer to an item's sales rank when I find it, it's typically me referring to the sales rank over on Amazon. And over on Amazon, items are given sales ranks based on how often a specific item sells within a specific category. So say I find this game while I'm out thrifting and I look it up on my phone and it comes up with a sales rank of 650. Well, 650 tells me that it is a very good item and a fast selling item because the sales rank is so low in that specific category for video games. Now, if the item sales rank was 1,000,000, this would tell me that this item is probably not worth selling, especially in the video games category. The next term I'm going to talk about is sell-through rate. Now, sell-through rate can refer to a few different things. There's different ways of calculating an item's sell-through rate. Essentially, it's telling you the rate at which stuff sells. Now, the two most common ways of applying sell-through rate to your reselling business is finding your monthly and your daily sell-through rate, but you can also use sell-through rate to apply to a specific item. When you're talking about a specific item, you're essentially looking at how long you had the item before it sold. So if I had a sweater in my store and it took 3 months to sell, essentially that would mean it had a 90-day sell-through rate. If you're trying to calculate your monthly sell-through rate, what you do is take the total number of items on your store and divide that by the amount of sales that you had that month. So say you have 100 items on your store, and that month you ended up selling 20 of those items, you would then have a 20% sell-through rate. If you're trying to get your daily sell-through rate, what you would want to do is take the total number of items in your store and divide that by how many items you sold that day. So if you have 100 items listed and you sold 2 items that day, you would then have a 2% sell-through rate for that day. And this is important so you can track the progress of your store and see the consistency of your sales. Next, I would really appreciate it if you all smash the like button. This helps the YouTube algorithm get my video out in front of more eyes, and it really helps me out. Also, while you're down there liking the video, please hit that subscribe button. Almost 70% of you guys watching these videos are not subscribed to my channel. Subscribing will help you stay up to date. When I post my videos, you will be the first ones to know. And since my channel is all about helping people, it's a win-win situation. You help me and I help you. Next is gross profit. Gross profit is referring to the total amount of money made from a sale. So if I sold an item for $30, my gross profit would be $30. This is in contrast to our next term, net profit. Your net profit is your gross profit minus all the expenses. So if I sold an item for $30, I would need to subtract the amount I paid in fees, and any other expense that might have been involved in that sale. So say I sold a jacket for $30, we would need to take away my cost of purchase, we'll call it like $5, the cost of shipping, we'll call it like $5, and the taxes and fees, we'll call it 15%. So in that scenario, after we take away all those things from the gross profit, we would be left with a $15.50 net profit. The next term I'm going to talk about is RA, or retail arbitrage. Retail arbitrage is referring to going sourcing from a retail location. For example, if you're finding stuff to resell at places like Walmart or Target on like a clearance sale. Next, online arbitrage. It's pretty straightforward. Essentially, you're sourcing for goods on the internet to then resell. So I could be scrolling through some eBay listings looking to buy something to then flip it on, say, Amazon, or buying something on Facebook Marketplace to then flip onto eBay. The next term I'm going to talk about is wholesale. Buying items wholesale means you're buying items in bulk. Typically, you're buying wholesale from a manufacturer or distributor, but you can also buy wholesale from like auctions or local retailers, or even ordering from an online wholesale website. Essentially, you're just buying bulk items. This can either be a box of items, a pallet or gaylord of items, or even a whole truck of items to then resell. Next term is BOLO. Be on the lookout. Again, this is pretty straightforward. If someone's referring to something as a BOLO, it means that you should be on the lookout for it when you are sourcing yourself. And this is kind of the inspiration behind my thrifting and what sold videos, because you can see what I bought and then be on the lookout for those items for yourself. Next is a term you might have heard some resellers throw around in their videos when they're out sourcing, and that term is in the wild. Essentially what this is referring to is finding an item at a thrift store or at a flea market or at a secondhand store of some kind. Essentially, you're not finding it at a retail store, or you're finding it below retail price in a non-retail setting. So say I'm at a garage sale and I find a bunch of video games, and there's one in particular that I'm really excited for because I'm adding it to my collection. I might say I'm glad I found it because I found it in the wild, and this just means I'm glad I found it while I was out hunting for stuff and I didn't have to go to eBay or a retail environment in order to purchase this item for my collection. The next two terms are just fun little terms. You'll hear them typically when you're dealing with people in person. More than likely, if you're hearing these terms, you're at like a antique show or a flea market or something like that. It seems to be the older crowd that throws around these terms, but the term is nickel and dime. Essentially, what that's referring to is a nickel is $5 and a dime is $10. They're just fun little terms to throw around when you're negotiating and haggling. Typically, like I said, you'll hear it from the older crowd, but just in case you come across it, that's good to know. The next one isn't a fun one. If you see this, it's probably a bad thing, and that is VERO, which is Verified Rights Owner. Specifically, this comes up most when people are talking about their items getting flagged for a VERO violation. And essentially, this is when a company flags your listing for violating their rights. Typically, it's a trademark or copyright infraction. And this is a bad thing because if you get too many of your VERO claims, you can actually get your account suspended and even permanently banned. There are actually quite a few companies out there that actively look for listings that they can file VERO claims on. Active companies include Velcro, Beachbody, P90X, Adobe, and there are just a lot of those kind of companies out there. eBay actually has a VERO list out for sellers so you can see what each company is looking for and to help sellers make sure they are not violating rights when they're creating a listing. The rest of these abbreviations are stuff that you can use in your listings or that you might see in other people's listings. I'm just going to go through them real quick because they're abbreviations that you should know. DS, or dead stock. This essentially means that an item is no longer available for sale via retailers. NWT, new with tags. NWOT, new without tags. VGUC, very good used condition. GUC, good used condition. WTS, want to sell. WTB, want to buy. WTT, want to trade. BIN, buy it now. OBO, or best offer. And that's going to do it. That's all the terms I could think of right now. I'm sure there's more that I missed, so there might be a part 2 to this video, but I hope that you guys enjoyed the content that I put out. If it did help you, please let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this style of video. I know it's a little different from what I typically do, but I really think these kind of videos are going to help brand new resellers immensely. But that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, remember, keep on treasure hunting. Peace.